It's a hospital room with no occupant, dominated by an empty bed. The strong smell of the sun-faded old curtains overpowers the lingering scent of disinfectant still lingering in the air. At the side of the bed, a single man sitting in the folding chair, hands folded in front of him.
予定通りだな。さすがは軍人だけあって時間に正確だ。
Well, I'm not in that line of work anymore, but time passes quickly. Best to use it efficiently, wouldn't you say?
その通りだ。時間はすぐに過ぎる。
Sakaki Michiaki smiles stiffly as the words leave his mouth. His face, carved with wrinkles, looks like that of a much older man.
3年ぶりか。もっとも、君の顔など、あまり覚えてはいないがね。
I remember yours very clearly. Seems to have changed pretty dramatically.
生きがいのなくなった人間など、所詮はこのようなものだ。血と肉の入れ物はあっても、それを動かす意志が空っぽでは、ただ細々と物を食い排泄するだけのゴミでしかない。
His eyes, once gleaming with ravenous ambition, are dull and sunken. His mouth droops slackly. It's as if his face can no longer support its own weight. There is not even a hint of the power and intensity that once defined this man. The last 3 years must have been a period of increasingly rapid decline. Sorrow seems to ooze from every pore of his body.
そんな私をここに呼んで、何をしようというんだね。
Michiaki's voice, full of self-ridicule, implies a question. Here to laugh at a fallen man? I wanted to ask you something. What was driving you 3 years ago? No. What drove you for your entire adult life? Where did that ambition and greed come from? I couldn't help feeling you were lost somehow, that you might have even regretted the path you took, and that's why I've dragged you out here, so I can stick my nose into your business. Michiaki responds to this with a snort of amusement.
こんな非道な男にそんなことを聞いても無駄だろう。君の期待するような言葉など私が言うことはない。私から全てを奪った贖罪のつもりでそんな自己弁護を考えたのかもしれんが、シナリオとしては三流だな。出直してくるがいい。
Tell me then, why have you been retracing the footsteps of your wife and child?
どうしてそれを？
I had my superior do a little digging. You've been sighted in the vicinity of this hospital, the apartments Yumiko and I rented when we were on the run, and even your wife's family home. My final request of JB was an investigation into Sakaki Michiaki's current whereabouts and activities since his fall from power. Michiaki spent the last few years visiting every place his daughter and wife once lived, as if to vicariously experience their journey, and he did his best to keep us in the dark about it, even disguising himself and using false names. Only a person who regrets their past would do something like that. If you'd really thrown everything aside, you wouldn't go out of your way to visit places with a connection to your family. That's why I finally decided to ask, was that life really what you wanted? Or were you just chained to it by something beyond your control? Had a feeling knowing the answer might be better than letting it all fade away miserably into the past. Michiaki heaves a heavy sigh. His sunken eyes gaze at the floor for a long moment, before slowly turning up to me. There's a surprisingly gentle smile on his face. It's the resigned expression of a beaten man.
君の上司は最後まで私の気に入らないことをするのだな。
Blame me for this one. I'm the one who asked her.
妙なことをするものだ。おせっかいにも程があるぞ。
Michiaki, who had been leaning forward in his chair like a stooped old man, abruptly reclines as if to stretch his back. His face pointed at the ceiling. He lets out a very long sigh.
私が父から最初に帝王学を教わったのは何歳の時かわかるかね？
No.
9歳だよ。遊びたい盛りの子供に、あの人はいきなり社会と金の話をしてきたんだ。
Throughout Michiaki's childhood, there was a constantly rotating cast of women at his father Kojuro's side. The women came and went one after the other, each calling herself his mother, offering him various forms of distorted love. Some were affectionate to him in a shallow way of a child playing with a favorite toy. Others were openly hostile, even abusive. But however they treated him, his father showed no interest whatsoever. On the other hand, Sakaki Kojuro was abnormally intrusive when it came to his son's studies and friendships. Perhaps it was because he'd once failed the Tokyo Imperial University examination himself, but he demanded superlative academic results from Michiaki, insisting he would tolerate nothing less than admission to a renowned national university. Any friends his son made at school were thoroughly investigated by detective agencies. When Michiaki failed to produce superb results, or showed the slightest sign of disobedience, his father would respond with violence.
家が怖かった。学校から戻ることが苦痛で仕方なかった。
Desperate to escape his terror, Michiaki threw himself into his studies, ultimately passing the entrance exam for the nation's most prestigious university. This success extended to his personal life, as he obediently acquainted himself with the gaudiest tiers of high society. The more Michiaki met his expectations, the more his father came to demand from him.
大学に入った頃だったか。あの人は私に言ったのだよ。
Michiaki's voice trembled slightly, as if afraid to even revisit the memory of his father. It takes some time before the next words emerge from his mouth.
お前の自我などいらない。俺の人形になって、俺の死後も働けとね。
University didn't bring the freedom Michiaki had hoped for. Every step he took was decided by his father. Under constant observation, he lived as nothing more than an extension of another man's will.
そして、私の自我の一切がついえ、完全な人形となるのを見計らったかのように、あの人は亡くなったんだ。
Michiaki turned his eyes toward the window.
それからのことは、君も何かで聞いているだろう。後に残されたのは、完全なあの人のコピーというわけだ。あの人と同じことをしていれば、波動を進めると思っていた。だから、ユミコの行動が何一つとして理解できなかった。
That's why you followed in her footsteps after losing everything. With yet another bitter smile, Michiaki slowly nods.
そんなことをしてどうなるわけでもないんだがな。ただ、何かあるのかもしれないと、すがるようにして同じ道をたどろうとした。
Did you find anything? He shakes his head.
何もなかったよ。話をしようにも、妻も娘ももうどこにもいなかった。ただ、何より恐ろしかったのは、そんな状況にあってさえ、悲しいとすら思えなかったことだ。わかるかね？幼い頃から他人はクズだゴミだと教え込まれ、女は道具だと言われ続けてきた人間が、今更になって家族の愛だの情だの理解できるわけがないのだよ。
Once again, Michiaki's gaze turns toward the ceiling. He's not shedding tears, but he's wearing the expression of a crying man. The expression of a man painstakingly forcing his face to take on the contours of sorrow.
私は悔いることすらできないんだ。
When you've known right, it's easy enough to see wrong for what it is. But when all you've known is violence and cruelty and misery, they're simply facts of your existence. By looking at the situation outside, you can understand that you've fallen to the very bottom. And yet, the grief and remorse just won't come. There's no emptier feeling. Sakaki Michiaki is mired in the depths of an extraordinary despair. No matter how he moves, no matter what he says, the smothering darkness all around doesn't so much as stir. He's sunk into an inescapable hell. It's the polar opposite of his daughter's suffering. Where Yumiko felt pain, this man knows only crushing numbness. It might be hard to swallow coming from a brat like me, but I can sort of understand your feelings.
なんだと?
There was a time when I couldn't even grieve for the things I'd lost. I tell Sakaki Michiaki just a little about my own past, about my misery, and my one small glimmer of hope, about the emptiness I felt when even that was snatched away from me, about the despair I endured again and again, until my heart grew numb, until I couldn't even recognize it as despair. I wouldn't say I've completely recovered even now, but little by little, I've started to experience those feelings again. Do you know why?
さあ、私にはわからない。
It's because of Yumiko. Having her in my life helped me regain something like normal human emotions. By protecting another human being, by sharing my life with them, I gained something in return. The impenetrable darkness inside of me was punctured with a few small rays of light. But if I hadn't met Yumiko, there's no doubt I'd still be wallowing in the same despair as this man. I need to be on my way. But tell me something first. What are you planning to do from now on?
これから何も考えてはいない。私には何もないからな。
All right. In that case, I'm going to make a request of you. Do whatever you want with the time you've got left, but don't give up on living.
どうしてそんなことを望むんだ?
Staring straight into Michiaki's eyes, I continue in a forceful tone of voice. Don't take anything else away from Yumiko. Whatever you think of yourself, she still sees you as her father. Goodbye. Those final words seem to have an effect on Michiaki. I've already turned my back and taken a few steps when I hear him rising to his feet.
Yumiko.
When I turn around, Michiaki's looking at me with the expression of a man who's just reached a firm conclusion.
Yumiko, 幸せに。私のようにはしないでやってくれ。人間として幸せにしてやってくれ。最後の、私の最後の頼みだ。頼む。
This isn't the hollow husk of a man I was speaking to a moment ago. It's not the broken puppet who told me he was nothing. At the end, Sakaki Michiaki stands before me as a father. Don't think I can accept that request.
なぜだ?
Because someday, you'll have to help me make Yumiko happy as well. But when I speak those words, the light fades from his eyes.
ユミコがそれを望むはずがないだろう。今ここにあの子の母も、そして父もいないのも、すべてはこのくだらない人形のせいなのに。
And Yumiko's a woman who can grieve for a puppet. Weren't you listening? She dragged me up out of that same muck you're sinking in.
本当か?
Yes. I wouldn't even be standing in this room otherwise. Yumiko's lingering unhappiness wasn't a product of bitterness, much less a desire for revenge. It was something else entirely. And that's why I came here, to show them a path toward accepting the past. That's not going to be your final request. I'll come see you again. Make sure you stick around until then. Turning around once more, I head for the door. This time, there's no call from behind. Yumiko. Yumiko is not standing in the hallway where I left her, but it doesn't take long for me to realize where she'd gone. The weather's nice today. She has to be there. A powerful wind gusts across the rooftop. Sandwiched between the vivid blue sky and dulled gray concrete, a small white thing flutters in the breeze. A slender milepost, marking the spot where it all began, and the spot where it's going to end. Her white skirt and long black hair dance in the air as I slowly approach. Wrapping my arms around that slim body from behind, I embrace it tightly. Yumiko must have realized I was approaching. Without flinching or turning around, she reaches up to grasp at my hand. Shoulders trembling softly, she lets her tears spill freely down onto my arm.
ありがとう。ここに連れてきてくれてありがとう。本当に。
Affectionately stroking my hand, Yumiko thanks me again and again. The wind gusts strongly past us, but we accept it head on, steady as a deep-rooted tree.
ユウシにお願いがあるの。聞いてくれるかしら。
Yeah. Shoot.
私、父に教えてあげたい。ユウシに教えてもらったように、父がそこにちゃんといるんだってことを教えてあげたい。
She chokes up repeatedly as the words leave her mouth, and yet, her voice seems strong and firm. It's going to take a while, you know. Sakaki Michiaki has many, many empty years behind him. Filling that massive void won't be a small project, or an easy one.
平気よ。だって、私は一人じゃないもの。
Her hand squeezes fiercely down on mine.
だから、大丈夫。
I nod and squeeze back. The words I spoke to Michiaki were my honest feelings. It's only because of Yumiko that I'm here today. I owe her everything. All right. Let's teach him together. With that, Yumiko falls silent once more. Grasping my hand, she gazes up into the sky and lets the wind break against her body. Beautiful summer clouds drift by far overhead. The sky Yumiko watched before was always a lonely place. The vault of blue was a symbol of nothingness, a reflection of the emptiness below. But right now, I think she's seeing something very different up there.
入りなさい。
はい、失礼します。
例の件の報告？
はい、そうです。
いいわよ。報告してちょうだい。
東浜電鉄に絡む敵対勢力の排除ですが、筆頭であった門間陸将補の急勢により、その勢力は次第に弱まっています。一部の組織暴力が旧来の組織と手を組んで資金集めをしているという情報もありますが、取るに足らないものかと思われます。
榊道明のその後は？
精神的にかなりの疲弊が見られましたが、現在は娘の榊由美子の支援により回復傾向にあるとのことです。以前のような暴挙には至らないと見て間違いないでしょう。
彼も国益を損ねるようなところまで手を広げずに抱えきれる程度にしておけばよかったのよ。目をつけられちゃいけないところにバレた以上見過ごすわけにはいかなかったわ。
外事経由の情報では陸将補が内通していたとされる外国人の女も処理されたそうです。
門真陸将補もバカなことをしたわね。そのままおとなしくしておけば議員にだってなれたのに、年がいもなくやってきた春に浮かれて欲をかいたせいで病死することになったわけだから。
門真陸将補の後継ですが、内田一佐の昇格が決まりました。
あの人畜無害のおじさんなら無難に務めるでしょう。適当な中間のポジションには首振ってハンコつくだけの人間がいればそれでいいわ。それにこの職場に関して言えば野心など一切ない方がいい。
全ては上層部の思惑通りというわけですか。
そうね。何もかもが最初から最後まで手のひらの上だった。実際に榊道明に対峙した彼らも私たちもね。
909残念ですね。結局ここもやめちゃいましたし。
まあ仕方ないわよ。もう子供も生まれたわけだし、そうそう無茶もできなくなる。潮時だったのよ。何よ、私の顔をじっと見て。
寂しそうですね、先輩。
余計な詮索をしないでちょうだい。キアラ、コーヒー入れて。
はい、わかりました。以上で報告を終わります。
さようなら、ユージ。
5 years later. Pulled along by a small hand, I walk down a gently curving road at the side of a familiar river. I have to bend over a little to match the height of my companion. Moving at an awkward trot, I do my best to keep up.
パパ遅いよ。もっと早く。
Maybe you could slow down instead, Yuma.
早くしないとお日様なくなっちゃうよ。
My entreaty, delivered with a lopsided half smile, is shot down instantly. As Yuma hauls me forward with renewed vigor, I hear a quiet giggle from behind us. Look, Yumiko, can you stop laughing and say something to the kid? Ignoring this request entirely, Yumiko smiles over at us. One of her hands is occupied with a picnic basket, the other with a bag full of painting materials. She watches her husband and only daughter run noisily along with an expression of profound contentment on her face.
着いた。ほらパパ座って。ママはここ。
With practiced movements, Yuma brushes away a little dirt, then guides us to our seat on the grass. The instant Yumiko settles herself onto the ground, Yuma slips in between her legs and onto her lap. Why don't you sit with me every once in a while, Yuma?
やだ。パパの膝の上硬いんだもん。
Kicking her stubby legs in the air, Yuma turns her face away in rejection. Yumiko, of course, just watches and laughs. Typical.
ママ、お絵かきしよう。お絵かき。
Looking back at her mother, Yuma makes her usual demand. Yumiko nods and retrieves a sketchbook from her bag. Coming here has become part of our normal routine. It's always the three of us, Yumiko, me, and our only child. Pretty much every weekend, we're here performing a happy family number sweet enough that it'd likely nauseate any unfortunate observers.
ほら、ちゃんと持ちなさい。こないだみたいに汚しちゃうわよ。
Yumiko reaches down and makes Yuma shift the marker in her hand to a more normal grip. Last week, the budding artist in question ended up defacing one of her favorite blouses as a result of that sloppy marker technique. With this energetic response, Yuma immediately switches back to her bizarre initial grip.
もう、言ったそばからね。
Smiling wryly, Yumiko takes our daughter's small hand in hers and shifts the marker again. Hard to believe it's the same hand that once came flying at my face in unthinking rejection.
お父さんもやっと退院ね。
Sounds like all the tests were good. I'm glad. Yumiko nods brightly. Just the other day, the doctor in charge of Michiaki's case granted approval for a discharge from the hospital. Yumiko's years of steady, determined effort have finally been rewarded.
おじいちゃん退院するの？
Yeah, Good thing we had you around, Yuma.
どうして？
In response to this innocent question, I just stroke her head. Yuma's cheerfulness provided more than enough warmth to thaw Michiaki's heart. These days, he's smiling like a good-natured old man every time his granddaughter walks into the room.
今度は一緒に連れてきたいわね。
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Yuma, losing interest in the conversation, scribbles passionately away at her sketchbook. Gripping the marker firmly in her fist, she piles vaguely circular shapes onto each other in seemingly at random.
できた！
Looking up at me, she grins from ear to ear and points at the sketchbook.
パパ！
A mishmash of shapes that might barely qualify as something like a face stares up at me from the sheet of paper. Sorry, Yumiko. Seems Yuma might have taken after me instead of you on this front. Unable to find appropriate words of praise, I let out a fatherly sigh.
まだわからないわよ。これから上手くなるかもしれないのに。ね、ユマ？
これパパに似てるよ。
We've got to do something about her sense of aesthetics, at least. As I heave another long sigh, my wife and daughter cackle at me. And when her laughter dies down, Yumiko mumbles a few words to herself.
こんな日が来るなんて。本当によかった。
Stroking Yuma's head gently, she continues with 3 earnest words.
ありがとう、ユージ。
Once, there was only emptiness inside her. Yumiko rejected everything, avoided all communication, cut off the lines tying her to the world. Eventually, the passage of time softened her. Slowly, almost against her will, she began to form new connections. But at first, those bonds inspired only denial and guilt. Today, she's full to the brim with heartfelt gratitude. It flows out of her as naturally as she breathes. Every thank you is nothing less than proof that Yumiko's embraced this world with open arms, that she's actively chosen to live in it. That's my line. Thank you, Yumiko. After a long and painstaking search, we have found happiness. Of course, it's a fragile thing with no constant form. We still have our struggles and our doubts. But it's not just the two of us anymore. There's something else for us to protect. Someone else to protect us both. The future we couldn't begin to imagine is slowly revealing its shape.
今度はママを描くね。
どんな顔になるのかな？
The warm late spring wind blows gently by us. As the leaves rustle softly in the distance, Yuma's musical voice flies off toward the ocean. And in the sky we've drawn together, there is not a single speck of cloud. Hey everyone, J2 John Jeremy here. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon to ensure you're kept up to date on the channel. Until next time, so long and take care.